Hi, this is Shadi. I've been meaning to do videos on Japanese wrestling for quite a while, everything like Shuto, submission arts wrestling, and here today, combat wrestling, but I just never got to it. But today I'm gonna visit this style that is, in my opinion, very hardcore. It combines a lot of the best features from the most famous grappling arts put into one. So things like Sambo, Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, the criterias for throwing, pinning, and of course submissions. I think it is a great style to adopt and also to pay attention to. And I'll go to Hidetaka, Aso, and all these others in other videos. But before that, please don't forget to check out my book. A link will be in the pinned comment below. So it is a free-for-all almost grappling style. You have things like just dropping down, pulling guard, and submitting from it. Very classical. You see it everywhere. Even in Judo, you can find a way to get on your back and hit the arm lock. Tsunoda is a great example of this. So here you have many ways of just simply entering it. So again, nothing is new when it comes to this, but however, it will always work because fundamentals are just here to stay in a sense. And of course, let's not forget their incredible leg lock game. You have everything scrambling, tangling legs, but different from Jiu-Jitsu, you have the shoes, which make things far more sensitive and far more crucial, and that will make a more interesting leg lock game, in my opinion. So here he cannot get the heel hook as a finish, and switches into, I believe, a toe hold later on. So here you can see he's still fighting the outside heel hook. The shoes makes it very easier to stick, so it's gonna be easier to get the tap with shoes, so your defense really better be on top. Here an ude garami grip turned into a yoko wakare, so not only just submissions but also very beautiful throwing techniques. Here you can see how he rolls himself in a crocodile roll to get his opponent going, sacrificing himself. So yoko wakare, it's one of those techniques that is somewhat rare in judo, but nonetheless it is a very old one, and you can see some variations like rolling your body. Here this is the classical form, where you have a very big pull on the sleeve and then you sacrifice yourself down and sideways as you separate from your partner, so hence the name. And you can see it kind of looks a bit too conceptual to work. However, there's many ways to make it work and many variations to it. But here, of course, when you incorporate movement and confusing the opponent, a movement like this can be very much achievable. Here, a brutal kani basami, scissors takedown, turn into a leg lock game, an entanglement, or a way to enter entanglement. Again, kani basami is one of those takedowns that I do not advocate for, simply because there's no way to control what can happen, and thus the rate of injury is quite high. I've discussed this scissors takedown extensively, and especially in a game like judo, where the goal is, of course, safety and building better human being, something like this, I believe, should not exist. And now we continue. Here you can see a defense for a double leg takedown was an Uchi makikomi, which is unheard of. Here you can see he took the arm, wrapped it around from the inside, rolling himself and taking him down. And Uchi makikomi is those one of those throws that can be an offshoot to a shoulder throw, where you don't load on the back if they're too strong or they're really pushing themselves back. You can roll them over onto your neck using their arm, and then you roll your entire body down, sacrificing yourself to get the throw. And here a massive Uchimata Makikomi from a collar tie. Here you can see a two-step, brilliantly done. And here Let's Go wraps him around and sacrificing himself. So you can see basically everything in this style. And of course, this is very reminiscent of Inoue Kosei's Uchimata in Athens in the year 2004. Here you can see he lets go, wraps him around, and hops it in order to get to the ground. Now, here also as well, pinning is interesting. They adopted the Sambo concept where you have the criterias of pinning same as Sambo, but when you pin, you don't get a pinfall like in catch or judo. You can get a ultimate win, but rather it's points. And I find this concept a bit interesting because they really want to finish by submission or by dominance, meaning you have a lot of points compared to your opponent. I believe it is 12, and that's how you win. And here you can see a triangle from the back. There is strangling. I'm not sure about catch wrestling these days, but from my understanding, it's only neck cranks and joint locks. There's no strangling and pins. So here you can see the triangle from the back, trying to really work it, maybe trying to turn it into a arm lock. Here, check this out. A neck crank from cradle and gets the tap. Of course, attacks on the turtle as well. You can see here, and gets a rear naked choke from it. Of course, you can see very similar to what you see in Jiu-Jitsu. So you have all these elements, the pinning concept of Sambo, Kani Basami from Sambo, criterias. You have different scoring points from when it comes to the throws. It's not just 2 points or whatever. No, it's very similar to Judo minus the ippon, of course. And here, if you look at this defense against a low single, you can see at the end was absolutely brutal. So there's a scramble. He's trying to get the low single, and from it he defends. Look at how he grabs his own leg and then tries to defend against it. But watch the finish. So here you can see he's trying to get an ashigatame almost, and then turns it into a jikoku jime or hell's choke, like a crucifix or a strangle from a crucifix, and then gets the win. It is absolutely amazing. And here you can see the jikoku jime in classical judo, and so you tie up the arm and you can finish with any strangle. Here he finished it with rear naked. Of course, he doesn't have the jacket to work with, but very similar entry, how he rolled into it and finished the fight. Absolutely brutal, very hardcore style. And I hope you check out more. There's plenty of videos on YouTube. And what I found interesting was everything from jiu-jitsu elements, sambo, wrestling, judo, when it comes to rules, scoring, and just as an expression as well. So if you have anything to add, let me know down below. Check out the links as well. This was Shadi, and thank you for listening.